Hey. Thanks again for pressing play and welcome once again to another edition of the Suns Jam Session podcast on the BLEAV Podcast Network, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, where you could have done what Voida did. You could have bet Devin Booker over 1 steal. Mission accomplished. 31.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Mission accomplished. Made a little money tonight. Watch the Phoenix Suns play and beat the Philadelphia 76ers to bring their record on their current 6-game road trip through 5 games to 3-2, which means this is a successful road trip, Jamsters. The goal was 3-3. If we could get to 3-3, it's a good road trip, and they still have a game to play. They can make this a great road trip if they go to Atlanta on Thursday and win 4-2. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what that has to do with what the fuck we're going to talk about tonight, because this is a great podcast we got lined up for you. We've got somebody who's never been on the show popping that Suns Jam Session cherry. So everybody, make sure that you give a warm round of applause for him when we bring him on, but make sure first that you subscribe, rate, review, hit thumbs up, do whatever you like. Just pop them open if you got them, because it's going to be a fun one tonight, talking about another victory for the Suns.
Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.
On today's show, the host of the Locked On Phoenix Suns podcast, my good buddy Ben Garcia. Welcome to the Suns Jam Session podcast, my friend.
Did you come out here to publicly shame me for some of my Jalen Green takes? And you were like, I want to be the first one, if Jalen Green has a good night, to cast the first stone. And if that's the case, you know what? I applaud you. That's exactly what you should have done.
Exact opposite. I brought you on because it's Jalen Green's first game back, and it's time for you to explain to everybody why you're right, why and how you got Jornot somehow to come get Jalen Green to come off the bench instead of starting when we thought that that's what he was going to do. So yeah, you're here to take a few victory laps. I hope you got your running shoes, my friend.
You know, it's funny because I wanted to make that joke so much today when Amanda Pflugrad, who does an awesome job sideline reporting for the Phoenix Suns, put out that he'd come off on the bench. And I wanted to joke and say, well, look who was right after all. But so many people are dumb on social media that they would have taken me seriously, so I didn't do it. What kind of a world do we live in where some kind of jackass like me can't go into the world and troll because everyone's going to hold me accountable for that, like for something that dumb? So whatever.
They only hold you accountable if you let them, if you acknowledge they exist. That's been my big thing personally in social media this year, is I fire my takes off. And am I wrong sometimes? Yeah. Sometimes I tweet emotionally. That's what everybody does. But then you got the people who try to throw it back in your face, and you know what? You don't acknowledge them. You don't acknowledge their response, and maybe it fuels the fire and it makes them matter. But you know what? It doesn't make me any upset.
Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say that Jalen Green, which by the way is a good thing. I'm not rooting to be right here. Why would I root for Jalen Green to be worse than I was worried about? But I don't like the phoniness that we have in Arizona sports media sometimes, where everyone's going to celebrate Jalen Green, but not all act like when that trade was what happened. We were like, well, damn, we were kind of expecting something like this, but it still sucks that it feels like we didn't get enough. Jalen Green is inefficient with the Rockets. He was, a player that the Rockets gave up. And this is the only negative thing I'm going to say on the show because it's a mostly happy day. But the Rockets watched the Kings give up Tyrese Halliburton and that blow up in their face. They watched the Clippers give up SGA and that blow up in their face. And they still willingly said, here's Jalen Green. We're not worried about that happening to us. That is a little alarming for a team that got an older aging player who I consistently poke fun with their fan base. And so it worried me a little bit, but I don't really care about the efficiencies tonight from Jalen Green because I just wanted to see one thing. Does he look healthy?
Yeah.
He looked healthy. That's all I cared about. And
that brings
I'm not
me
gonna and like well, I was just gonna say my other thing is like I'm not gonna apologize either. Like I'm not gonna act like I didn't have concerns with Green and a lot of other people did too. I had a fun thought exercise. It kind of blew up. I thought it was hilarious that they actually had to ask Jordan Ott about if he was gonna start because of me. That was kind of funny. And that's my lane, but I thought it was I'm not gonna apologize for it. I'm just gonna hope I'm wrong. And with how healthy he looked, man, I saw the potential from him tonight, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
Well, and I think that the Jalen Green situation, combined with everything that's occurred relative to that entire transaction, has proven a lot of people wrong, and we're happy to be wrong. And those are the conversations we had this past summer. I was on Locked On Suns. You and I had a lot of these kind of conversations. Okay, we got Jalen Green. What is he? How does he fit? Is he duplicative of Devin Booker? And you and I went down the rabbit hole of really diving into the numbers and going, okay, maybe he isn't. He's somebody who attacks the basket. He said it at media day. He's working on his mid range, and we're like, no, that's Booker's area.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
Work on your three ball. But it brings me to my first question.
Matthew,
Benny
I've
G.
got to ask.
Ben, I got to ask, how did he look out there after watching one game of Jalen Green, who, obviously coming off the bench, not something that anybody expected except for Benny G here. What did you see? How did it feel to see this guy come off the bench?
Jalen Green, 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 green.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with all of your drops, and I should have. Well, I should have been more familiar with it because I've watched the show enough. Jalen Green. Okay, so I'll start with the one negative because I'm a negative and then positive guy. I texted you about this because I thought it was. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the thing I was worried about.
Yep.
He had one spot tonight. One out of his numerous attempts. He was 20 minutes on the floor tonight. He had one spot where I went, that was Houston Rockets, Jalen Green. Don't like that. And it's when the Suns were still up pretty comfortably. They were by like 7 points with a couple of minutes. It was the 3-minute mark. Mm-hmm. And he got to the rim. And this was one of the reasons why he was inefficient at the rim last year. 58%. And this is at the rim, 58%. This is anywhere else. He threw some random BS up when there are players open on the perimeter. And it's like, Jalen, you don't have to do that. Now, listen, you got to break bad habits. He had one bad problem tonight where I was like, oh, that I don't like that. Don't do that. You got dudes on the perimeter. You don't have to do everything on your own. And I think that's that one spot where they had a close game. It was his first game back in like 2 months. He missed like 30-something games. He's got to take that out of his game. And for the most part, he did tonight. Mm-hmm. That was the only spot where I hated that.
Love
outside of it, dude, he looked incredibly healthy. That's all I cared. So the biggest thing that I took away from this was I love a quick first step. I love a quick first step in basketball. It's something like I've always, when I play basketball, I'm like, how do I get quicker there? If I can beat someone off the dribble immediately, I already have a step on them. When you also factor in, he's got like pterodactyl arms.
Yeah.
He's got that quick first step ability that Bradley Beal was supposed to have. And that for me was like, oh, there's the payoff of the Bradley Beal thing. He looked healthy every time literally like 2 seconds into the game, he fell on the floor and I was like, you okay? And he was fine. Like that's what matters. I don't care that he's 4 for 11. He's 2 for 4 from 3. That was kind of nice. Yeah. He snatched Quentin Grimes' ankles where I was like, oh God. And it was to the point with this. His shooting wasn't great tonight. Expected, but I didn't notice it until I looked at the box score.
Exactly.
He did everything else well, including defense towards the end on Tyrese Maxey, where he's cutting him off to the basket. And I'm like, this is why I actually bought into this guy a little bit defensively. He's not a big body, but he's a lengthy body. Mm-hmm. And that matters a lot on this team that is just trying to get steals and get in passing lanes. So if I was grading it tonight in how he looked, again, not the shot, none of that. That'll come with time. Like it was a solid B+. A solid B+. I would have went with that. If he would have dunked it on that Grayson Allen lob,
Yes.
it would have been an A. But friggin' VJ Edgecombe, or was it? I think it was VJ Edgecombe
Got
out
him.
of Baylor tracked him down. But I thought he was pretty good, man.
Yeah, I agree. And for those of you who haven't watched a lot of Jalen Green, the play that Ben is referencing is something that you're going to get used to. And it's unfortunate. And hopefully he grows out of it. And to your point, for the majority of the night, he didn't operate in that way. And it's the fact is he is so quick. And it's so nice to see someone that quick on this team, because for all of the great things that the Phoenix Suns are, they're not extremely quick. Like Grayson Allen's sneaky the way that he can penetrate and get to the cylinder, but he doesn't do it in a athletic way. He doesn't in kind of a lumbering way. Devin Booker's never had that in his bag. It's not what he does. And to see Jalen out there, you're like, oh, this is exciting. Now, again, what will happen, and we'll see this time and again, a couple things to note as we prepare for the Jalen Green experience and we get over this initial excitement, because it's like getting Nick Richards at the trade deadline last year, right? The first like 3-4 games, you're excited, you're like, ooh, what's this new toy? And then habits start to form and you go, oh, okay, that's what this toy is. With Jalen Green, he's so athletic, he can get by guys, but sometimes due to that athleticism and getting to the downhill, he'll kind of go, okay, what do I do now? And he just jumps up in the air. It's kind of like Eric Bledsoe used to do. Eric Bledsoe used to do that all the time. He'd get by somebody, jump in the air, and then like, oh shit, there's somebody blocking me. What do I do with the ball now? Now, one thing I really appreciated by watching Jalen Green tonight is the way that he's buying into this team concept, because there was numerous times where he penetrated and popped and set up wide open 3-point shooters. And that's something, that he's been sitting on the bench watching and saying, hey, if I could just get in these situations, I've got guys around me, Colin Gillespie, Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen. These guys around me can pop threes. So all I got to do is penetrate and pop, and good things will happen. And that's what we witnessed tonight. His final stat line, 4 of 11 from the field for 12 total points. He had 3 assists. He had a couple rebounds, a couple turnovers. And to your point, and I agree with this, what I saw from him defensively tonight was encouraging, because we were sold a traffic cone, right?
Yep.
Everyone told us that we were going to, he plays no defense. Good luck with that. But he's been sitting on the sidelines watching this team play in the manner that he does, and that's going to inspire him to play that type of basketball, and he's going to fit in. And that's what Jordan Knott kind of said before the game. It's like, that's the question. How are you going to integrate this guy? It's like, he's going to take what we do and he's going to make it better. And that's what we witnessed tonight. So the interesting thing and the big question that we'll continue to monitor as days fall off the calendar and games stack up with Jalen Green is, where are the minutes coming from?
Yeah.
And I liked where I saw the minutes come from tonight. And essentially, Jalen Green kind of took the minutes of Ryan Dunn, which brings me to my first trivia time for Ben.
You know what time it is.
Trivia time. All right. Ryan Dunn only played 8 minutes and 32 seconds tonight. So here's my question for you, Ben. How many times this season has Ryan Dunn played under 10 minutes in a game for the Phoenix Suns?
If you would have said last season, I would have said 30 games, because Bud just didn't want to play him. I'm going to say it's a trick question, and I'm going to say none. I'm going to say
zero is correct.
I was going to say he's because I can't remember a time where they did that, because they've had so many injuries. Like, there was a little bit of thought, right? There's so many injuries, and they don't got a lot of forwards. Like, it's one of the reasons why people yell at me all the time about my Grayson Allen stuff, because they think I hate Grayson Allen. And I'm like, no, you have a surplus of guards. Go get a forward. And the Suns don't have any of those. So, I think it would have to be 0. And listen, I'm
0.
I'm a fairly smart guy. Fair.
So let me ask you this, smart guy.
Oh, God.
Is that the right approach for Jordan Ott? Now, granted, we know that Jalen was coming off of the bench in this situation. So as time progresses, and again, kudos to Jordan Ott for doing it in this manner. Play Jalen Green a total of 20 minutes tonight. Let him get his feet wet. Don't get him out there starting. Use him strategically. He closes the game as well. He should. But that's going to be the question continually, because we've seen Colin Gillespie play great basketball. We've seen Jordan Goodwin play great basketball. Even Jamari Bouye, when he's had a shot, he's played great basketball. Is the right place to pull some of those minutes away from Ryan Dunn, in your opinion?
Hell no. It's not me. First off,
You love Dunn?
I do. I am the president of the Ryan Dunn fan club. I was the president of the Oso Ighodaro hate club. And then I kind of had to retire that club because he's been
We'll
so
get to
great
him.
recently.
We'll get to sweet baby Oso.
Yeah, my boy, sweet baby Oso Ighodaro. Ryan Dunn, no. I think it's actually one of the worst things you could do. And you guys know me. I'm not going to sit on a fence. If I have an opinion, I'm going to go 110% on it. And the reasoning for that, why I thought it was okay tonight, is because they're not the 76ers are kind of a small team. When you talk about Tyrese Maxey is 6 foot, VJ Edgecombe is 20 years old and 6'4", which probably means he's 6'2". And they're running out Andre Drummond tonight, who can't play more than 20 minutes without huffing and puffing, and he's still not 7 foot either. So when the Suns are playing smaller teams, yeah, absolutely they can go small. And against some big teams, depending how you want to do it, like running Rudy Gobert off the floor, you could do that too. But the Suns have a rebounding problem. The Suns have a points in the paint problem. The Suns have an offensive rebounding problem. That is going to get even more exposed when you take out someone who's an excellent rebounder like Ryan Dunn is. It was fascinating to me to see how much Ryan Dunn play, especially for how well that he has been shooting the ball in this month. I think he's been shooting like
50%.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna say 50%, but I was like, God, that sounds so bad. I'm gonna say 40% because it's Ryan Dunn. But he's been shooting the ball better from the perimeter. Like, hell no. Because Ryan Dunn is 6'7" or 6'8", and is a bigger 6'7", 6'8" guy. He is a lengthy player. He is strong. You need him on the floor. That's why it is so essential for him to have some semblance of a jumper. The minutes are going to have to come from somewhere else. I love Jordan Goodwin. I love Colin Gillespie. But you can't, against these bigger teams, you're going to get exposed. And so, no, I wouldn't say that's the right thing to do right now. Now, listen, Jordan Knott got this job, and I supported him getting the job from the get-go, and he knows more than I do. But it's simple X's and O's. You can't go so small for so long and expect other teams to not exploit that at some point. So, and especially like when you take him out and put him in, whoever it is they want to put in. Like, I like Jalen Green. I think he's got potential as a defender. He's not nearly the defender as Ryan Dunn. Like that's going to affect this team's identity too. So like on nights like tonight, I get it. It's a matchup based thing, but nah, man, like you're already not big. I wouldn't go down that route. And then it really makes me believe like, God, have we seen the last of Rasheer Fleming? But yeah, no, I wouldn't go down that route. And I don't know whose minutes it's going to be. Obviously Jamari Bouyer's 7 minutes a night are gone.
14 minutes. He plays 14.7 minutes when he does play.
But with Jalen Green is what I meant. Like the 7 minutes they're gone. Jordan Knott's going to have to figure out how he wants to stagger that, because a recipe for success in the NBA is not going smaller. This league is dominated by bigger players, and it has been outside of Stephen Curry for like the last quarter century. So I'll continue with that. But still, I think it was a good adjustment tonight. Jordan Knott continues to push all the right buttons.
Well, I'll say this. Normally when I go on Locked On Suns, we typically agree on everything. So I will say that the correct answer is what you said. This is a matchup based conversation, because if you are a big team, you're going to need Ryan Dunn out there in some capacity. The Ryan Dunn's biggest challenge is smaller teams. Small twitchy guards are cooking him as of late. He gets put in the blender nightly. I forget who it was last night. It was Nolan Traore, like blends up Ryan Dunn. I'm like, come on, man. Like Ryan Dunn's got to be better than that. But I will say that I am absolutely okay with Ryan Dunn losing some minutes if it means Jalen Green. Because again, you're going to have to shave them somewhere, right? Like Dylan Brooks is playing 30 minutes a night. Yeah, maybe that can become 28. Colin Gillespie's at 28. Maybe that becomes 25. Ryan Dunn's at 21.3. Maybe that becomes 18 minutes. And you're going to have to try to math it, if you will, to institute and infuse this lineup with Jalen Green. And if it's Ryan Dunn, again, based on the matchup, I fully support it, because Ryan Dunn, I am not the president of the Ryan Dunn fan club. I'm the person who's picketing outside saying, come on, man, like get your shit together. Like be the guy we need you to be. You know? Ryan
can't do much wrong with me, because he was the guy I was advocating for them to draft with the 29th overall pick, 26th overall pick, and they traded back, and I was freaking out. and then they got him, and I was stoked because I was super sold in this guy. The jumper is starting to come along over the last couple weeks. We'll see.
Good. It's
Dude,
finally falling.
That's funny. I sat courtside and watching him shoot, and every time I'm like, we'll see. We'll see with that. And then over the last couple weeks, especially from the corner, and that's all I care about. Just be a good 3-point corner shooter. Like, I don't care. Just make it to where they have to defend you. And like, he kind of reminds me of Airplane Mode. What the hell is that? Derek Jones Jr. a little bit. Derek Jones Jr. is longer and a little bit slimmer. But if you could get some semblance of a corner jumper like him, like, that's what I'm interested in. And I was gonna say something else that was important about the Suns rotational minutes. But regardless, you got to find the minute. Oh, here's what I was gonna say. People say, like, don't mess with, like, because I've gotten in trouble with, like, experimenting with Suns trades, and they're like, don't mess with the Suns depth. It's a good problem to have that they've got all these players and they've got to figure it out. 100%. Good problems are still problems, and you have to solve them. Otherwise, those good things can turn into bad problems. So whether it's moving someone, and so that's kind of where I'm at.
But good problem is just a phrase. It's not an actual thing, because like, there is no problem. That's the thing. So here's one of my number one pet peeves in this world. Working in the service industry, when I would have servers after having an interaction with somebody that say no problem, because your problem, it has negative connotation, and that's why you can surmise that that take, right? Well, a good problem is still a problem, right? A good thing is still a bad thing, because just simply because you attached a word to it. I don't think that the Suns at this point right now, we don't have problems. In my opinion, we don't have any problems that necessitate the moving of assets at this point in time.
Sure.
At the end of the season, absolutely. That's when you can start to take a look at what this year was, how you operated, what deficiencies you feel like you have, and what your aspirations are for next year. And you can start to make those decisions. If Jalen Green doesn't work out in this evaluation period, boom, you move him and you get something back. The depth, it's not a problem right now. It's a strength. Having Nick Richards for $5 million a year as your third backup center is a good thing. It's not a problem. People like to trade for the sake of trade conversations, and it's actually kind of tough for me, because it's great from a writing perspective on Bright Side of the Sun, coming up with different reasons for trading this guy and why this guy would fit in mock trades. And I put out an article. I'm like, you're not going to get that content from me this year, because I don't think that there's any world where we should move anything, including Nick Richards. Because if Mark Williams does get injured, all of a sudden you're like, God, you know what we really needed? A backup center who could at least give us 15 minutes a night while Oso and maybe come on Mal, so it's like, I don't think that there's problems on this team in any fashion. I think that there's a lot of great things happening. I mean, the team's 10 games over 500 for the first time since they ended the season 2 years ago, when they ended 16 games over 500. We're watching the scoreboard tonight to make sure that both the Lakers and the Rockets lose, because we can jump them in the standings. There are no problems.
Oh God, I would love to. Did the Rockets lose tonight?
They're probably still playing, because we played the 5 o'clock games. So.
That's right. We played really early, but they're playing the Spurs. What's that score right now? Oh, they're down by 12. I thought my mentions were a little quiet. I thought they were a little quiet from Rockets fans. As they
I love watching the Rockets.
Well, it's like, again, this is not the Rockets Jam Session podcast, but 30 seconds, I'll say, that was not my first reaction. I was very much rooting for Kevin Durant, as I'm not really interested in rooting for people to fail. I'm rooting for them to fail. I'm so over that team and Kevin Durant. So that has changed, but it was funny because, people have gotten mad at me for poking fun at them, and I'm like, I'll continue to poke fun at them.
Oh,
I'll continue to.
I'll continue to do too.
I might do it tonight.
Yeah, you know what? Tonight's going to be one of those nights, because if we jump them in the standings, I like to get all up in their comments. But
should I retweet it again? I'll at Kevin Durant in the next one. Actually, I don't want those problems. Never mind. I don't want to deal with him.
Good speaking terms with him right now. Last time I talked to him, it was on my birthday, and we had a good conversation. So I'll leave it at that. Let's talk about your boy, sweet baby Oso.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Oso Ighodaro. Oso coming off the bench tonight looked oh so good. 5 of 7 from the field, ended with 12 points and 5 rebounds. And you tweeted out during the game, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Jordan Ott's most impressive success story to date is Oso Ighodaro. This guy was borderline unplayable to start the season and has evolved into a legitimate 4 and plays with aggression. We saw shades of in Summer League from him on offense and defense. Impressive. Please tell me more.
I was hoping people wouldn't ask me to elaborate because that would make them think I actually watched the game. No. Oso, and I said this during the Summer League, and this is I think Oso's a confidence player. And okay, so there's so many layers to this. The first one is, and this is what really sparked my thought process on this. When I saw him in the Summer League, he was bullying dudes, like bullying them, dropping his shoulder into them and dunking the ball on them. Even if he was missing shots, he was playing aggressive. And I came on here on Locked On Phoenix Suns, and I was like, that's the Oso Ighodaro we need. That's the Oso we need. Aggressive, relentless, and when you pair that with his passing ability, then you have real dribble penetration, because I actually think he's a better ball handler than people give him credit for. Not amazing, but better ball handler than people give him credit for. Dribble to the basket. If that makes another defender just suck in a little bit, an extra step, nothing crazy, and he is a good enough passer to kick it out to someone on the perimeter. And so with that Oso thing, I was like, okay, maybe he's just doing it because he's stepping on the floor and he's like, I'm the best player here. I spent 2 years in college. I was in the NBA. At worst, right now on the floor, I'm the second best player on the floor. I'm going to act like it. And then he didn't play like that to start the year. He was terrible.
He was.
And I had to have people tell me, well, he's a good passer. And I was like, okay, but he doesn't do anything else. He was terrible. I thought he was terrible defensively. I thought his footwork was slow.
It was.
And now he's playing with this confidence. And then you pair it with the Old Man of the Three podcast with Colin, Ryan, Mark, and someone else, Jordan. And Jordan Goodwin, I watched the whole thing. People should go watch it. It was really great. It was like 48 minutes. It was great. Jordan Goodwin said, I never had someone believe me like Jordan Ott does to shoot. And he'll tell me, hey, shoot the ball, shoot it. Like he's coming up the court. He's like, shoot it. He's like, a coach never told me to shoot the 3 ball 6 times a game. And the confidence that he gives me like is a big deal. And I'm like, Oso's a confidence player. And I think Jordan Ott has instilled this confidence in him while as well teaching him the other fundamentals of basketball, where defensively there is just some massive growth, especially under the basket, where he's not freaking slamming down on people anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a combination of confidence where Jordan Ott must have ripped him to the side in his office and said, hey, if I promise not to get angry with you, sweet baby Oso, will you play with reckless abandon? Because that's what I want you to play with. And he has been dribble driving to the basket. It's been paying off. He now has a different element than just a push shot. He now has the ability to get to the basket. And that, again, makes defenders think just a little bit more. And when you're being that aggressive, you can't put smaller defenders on him. So I think it's a combination of coaching and confidence from Jordan Ott that he's instilled in him. And my sweet baby Oso Ighodaro, who I made fun of relentlessly on Locked On Phoenix Suns, is grown up right before our very eyes. He has been easily Dylan Brooks. He's been the second most improved player.
But Dylan Brooks has an effect on Oso. He's the one who pushed him and pushed him and pushed him to the point where he kind of said, like, dude, fucking leave me alone, bro. Okay, you need me to be this guy? I'll be this guy. And to your point, yes, the thing about him in Summer League is he looked like a man amongst kids. And that's what you always hope for. And Ryan Dunn, in all honesty, was the same way. Both of our sophomores looked good. And I'm right there with you. People who watch the podcast know my relationship with Oso. It goes up and it goes down. Obviously, he can't shoot. Everybody brings that up. It's like, okay, tell me how Andre Drummond can shoot. Tell me how 90% of big men can shoot. Just because Victor Wembanyama's, launching threes, that doesn't, Oso. And I've written articles about this. We've talked about it. It's like, take a look at who he is relative to being the 40th overall pick in the draft compared to other guys who were drafted 40th overall. And guess what? Price for value paid's there. He's continuing to grow within the confines of what this is. Jordan Ott loves him. He's kind of like Dario Saric, in all honesty. Dario could shoot the 3 ball, but he's a
Mhm.
connector, and he's a lot more athletic, man.
Yeah, people are so in search of the next unicorn, like
Mhm.
Paul Jokic and Victor Wembanyama, who like don't like people are like that's the anomaly. Don't point to that player and say, well, we don't have that. That doesn't happen. It's like
Exactly.
don't build your team around a 6'3" guard to win a championship because it's probably not going to happen outside of Steph Curry. That's the anomaly, not the rule. Too many people are so focused on trying to find the unicorn that they can't appreciate a good horse. And
Mhm.
Osoro is just a steady good horse, man. You get on, you might not have the horn, he might not fly, but he gets you from point A to point B, and that's all that matters. Dude, he is really, because people have gotten upset with me with my trade discussions. But he has really made me think, maybe just have him play the 4 more often.
Yeah,
He's
I'm not opposed. Well, especially in a year or two when Kalman Malawach has developed appropriately, Kalman can stretch the floor a little bit. And
Mhm.
that's where it really can get interesting in the future. And it's something, again, don't let your short-term greed get in the way of your long-term greed. The short-term greed is, well, if we attach Oso to a Royce O'Neal deal, we can get Jonathan
Yeah,
Kuminga,
well,
or play Kalman Malawach right now when he's not ready. Whereas right now we're successful, and 2 or 3 years from now we can continue to be successful because our young guys are going to develop appropriately. That's going to be the whole other side of this equation with Brian Gregory and Matt Ishby and Jordan Ott, and what they've built is to see how they turn this short-term success into long-term culture.
Oso Ighodaro he has turned from, oh yeah, I'll trade him in a deal for Jonathan Kuminga in the offseason. I've been out on the Jonathan Kuminga for a very long time. When it was a 4-year, $90 million deal and all I had to do was give up Royce O'Neal and Oso, I was in on it. I've been out on it for a while now. He has gone from, oh yeah, send him, to, yeah, I can't trade that guy. He's actually too valuable to the team right now because Rasheer Fleming defensively looks fine. Offensively doesn't look there yet. I think it will come, but he doesn't.
I agree.
And Ryan Dunn has to show me for a longer stretch of time he could shoot the 3 ball effectively. And Oso fits that role now where like you actually kind of can't trade him because then you have a gaping hole at the forward spot. And so like I've kind of backed off from like, oh, trade someone, to where I'm like, you could if you want to, but I'm not really that interested in it anymore.
And what I'll say is, one thing that I've appreciated over my time hosting this podcast is, you're talking about people looking for unicorns and players who can do everything. Yet for some reason, their guys are getting paid $2.5 million, but we need them to do everything. And the same goes for, I watch the chat every night. And again, if you happen to be watching along live or watching later or listening at another time, I appreciate you taking a little time out of your day to do so. But the people who take the time to actually type in the chat really means a lot to me. And I've seen the conversations change over time, because in the past, you would see people who just be frustrated with one player because they didn't put up 30 points. It's like not every player puts up 30 points a night. Not every player is perfect every night. And you see the fan base have an appreciation for somebody like Oso, who, again, isn't going to stuff the stat sheet, isn't going to do things overly flashy all the time, but he does a lot of the little things right that help you win basketball games. And that's what this team is. If you take care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves. And those big things at this point currently are winning. Now, I do want to talk about just real quickly, where's Jordan Ott?
He's Jordan Ott, the best coach Sparty money has bought. Yes, he's Jordan. He's Jordan Ott.
The one thing I got to talk about Jordan Ott is the way that the look he gives when he challenges a play is like
pissed. He was pissed about that first one.
Yes, the way he looked at Scott Foster or any official when he's challenging is it's terrifying. Like, I never want to have Jordan Ott look at me that way. Now, he kind of looks like, have you ever seen Too Fast or
no
Tokyo Drift?
I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies.
Wow, man, that's sad.
There's like 12 of them.
There's 9 or 10. But the third one, he looks like the main character in the third one mixed with Josh Duhamel. Do you know who Josh Duhamel is?
I know the name. You're going to learn that the movie thing is a bad avenue to go down with me.
I know. I've tried it in the past. You don't. like you live and breathe Arizona sports. You don't have time for movies.
And I know of Josh Duhamel. I think my wife thinks he's more handsome than me.
Well, there you
That's
go.
I think that's all I know about Josh Duhamel.
He's got that death stare. But I did. Go ahead.
Do you want to? This is. Oh God, Josh Duhamel is more attractive than me. Oops. Do you want to know my? Okay, so you're right about the Jordan Knott thing. Just to stay on topic for a second here, he challenged. What was it? It was an out of bounds call.
It was an out of bounds call.
God, Scott Foster
is horrible.
He is so dude. He was Tim Donaghy's right hand man, and he's still in the NBA. And I'm like, he was Tim
Donaghy's right hand man when Tokyo Drift was out in theaters.
he is so stupid. He is so bad at his job, and he's like the crew chief every time. He is condescending when he's wrong on calls. He has an attitude. He's bad at his job. He was Tim Donaghy's right-hand man, and he somehow still gets every big game.
There was a play where Devin Booker was called for a foul, and they showed Devin Booker talking to Scott Foster. And to your point, the look of condescension on his face, and then he was kind of, and you could almost see him mouth like, "Yeah, I missed it. Like, no big deal." And like Dylan and Devin's like, "Are you serious? Like the guy's at the line shooting free throws, and you're just like, yeah, well, whatever. You know, like
I mean, like
I'm shooting my job, and there's no accountability."
Like on my show, Ben Garcia show, or Locked on Suns, like I don't talk about the officiating because there's always a different reason why you lost. But Scott Foster is the exception, and I think he's bad for both teams. He is terrible. He is bad for the NBA. When CP3 was like 0-15 against him in playoff games, it was like a legitimate thing when I saw him pop up on like the Suns refereeing report, and I'm why are you even having this guy ref the games? Like, you have to bring someone else in, because even if it's a coincidence, why mess with the integrity of the game, even just by the thought of it?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, dude, he's absolutely terrible.
He's garbage.
But with that being said, yeah, my hot Jordan Knott take, and listen, I played Eric Ruby in a game of one-on-one basketball. It was definitely not my best game, not my best outing in terms of basketball. I got to be honest. Yeah, definitely. Well, listen, I got him on the first step, and I did make him look silly on that one play, and the rest of the game he made me look silly. So it wasn't a great outing for me. I think I could beat Jordan Knott in a game of one-on-one. That's my hottest, dumbest take. I think I could beat
I don't
him.
think so. I think from a tactician standpoint, he would have already reviewed your film, know your weaknesses, and use them against you, and then go full Dylan Brooks on you and try to get a technical foul. But there's no official there to call a technical foul, so he's just going to take you out of your game emotionally. That's what he'll give you, that stare, the Josh Duhamel stare, and you're like, "Am I lost in his eyes?" Next thing you know, he's got a layup is happening.
I know the chat is like, this guy is an idiot, and I understand I am an idiot, and I'm probably wrong. My hottest take is I want to play Jordan.
Of that game.
Yeah, there was video of that game. It was not great in my favor. I was challenged to a game of basketball, and I took it and I did it. I'm not one to back out of things, and it was bad. It was not a great showing. Go home, Ben. You're drunk. It's not great. I understand. I'm probably not. This is the point. Like there's a reason Locked on Sun shows are 30 minutes, because when we hit the 38 mark, then nonsense starts to come out where I'm like, okay,
you have no idea what kind of nonsense lies ahead.
Yeah.
Real quick, shout out to Thunder Stan in the chat, $4.99 in the super chat. Truly appreciate it. You helped me pay my bills. I had a little dog that had to go to the hospital. So yeah, you get half. He says good defensive teams make guys like Maxey a non-factor. Season low 4 first half points for
0 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, and trust me, as somebody who has Maxey on his fantasy team, I knew it, but I locked in his points yesterday. But let's see, what else did I have? Well, let's talk about, we talked about a lot of good things. Let's talk about things to write down in our burn book.
The Suns Jam session, burn book. The Suns Jam session, burn book.
So
is that supposed to be Devin Booker?
It's supposed to be, but then it ends up looking like a scary Tyrese Halliburton. AI, man, what are you gonna do?
Sorry.
For those of you who listen, check out the show right around the 39-31 mark and be scared. 0 of 9 start in this game. Scored our first basket at 7:32. Not a great start. There was definitely some stretches, as there typically are in Suns games. Here's one thing. Here's 3 things that are in my burn book that I didn't appreciate tonight. One, obviously the turnovers.
Yeah, 20 of
Suns,
them.
especially in that fourth quarter, they ended up having a total of 8 turnovers. Only gave up 6 points on those 8 turnovers, thankfully. But they had 22 turnovers tonight. Only gave up 28 points. It's not often you turn the ball over more than 20 times and walk away with a victory, especially on the road. But the Suns did it. And do we really need to be reminded that Kelly Oubre was a fan favorite so much?
Oh
Like,
God, dude!
I love you, K-Ray. You don't got to tell me every 5 minutes that he used to be a fan favorite here, man. Like, there's a new guy wearing number 3 that kisses at the crowd when he scores a 3-pointer, and then he punches a motherfucker. I'd rather have that guy than Kelly Oubre, man. Thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, dude. You know my take on the. I am a Suns fan, but I don't wear the proverbial fan cap. I run the opinionist route. I try to be as unbiased as I can, so I cannot stand the. Man, he was such a fan favorite here. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind Kelly Oubre either, but like that was 6 years ago.
Exactly.
Let's move on. More pressing matters. The turnovers were terrible tonight. And
Yes.
pretty much, honestly, that wasn't because the 76ers were doing much.
Unforced.
It's because the Suns got kind of sloppy with the basketball. They had 22 of them. I was looking up statistics. Believe it or not, I actually do prep before I do a show.
Ooh, let's do a Dave Stat Me real quick.
Ooh, dang, stat me.
Wait, who's Dave? Oh, Dave King.
Dave King.
Oh,
This is a segment from the
Dave
old
the
solar
King.
panel. Yeah, Dave the King.
Dave the King.
He
I
used
was
to
like,
do
wait a
the
second.
Stat Me segment on the solar panel. So I sniped that from him years ago.
Well, I was just like I was like, wait, what do we? And then I saw the Bitmoji, and I remember the late great Dave King had that as his Twitter. Anyways,
Yes.
Dave King, may he rest in peace. Amazing person, amazing writer. Anyways,
So hit us with some stats.
so this was crazy. I saw this today, and I was a little surprised, and this might come as a surprise to you. The Suns are 25th in the NBA in assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah, I was looking at
That
the
is
other
with
day.
the depths of the Lakers, the Wizards, the Rockets, the Clippers,
Who are
and
still
the
losing.
Portland Trailblazers. A team that is so to the T, it feels like scripted, unscripted, kind of random basketball, but with a purpose. This team turns over the ball far too many times, and in the playoffs, it's gonna bite you in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And this team is gonna be a playoff team. Like they're going to be a playoff team, and they had 22 of them tonight. And the 76ers, like I know it, I say only, but they only converted 28 points off those 22 turnovers, which
Exactly.
probably should have been more. But here's the other problem with that. The Suns force a lot of turnovers, but they don't force a lot of points off turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really matter if you force turnovers if you're not making the other team pay for them. And so that was one thing where tonight I'm just like, first off, you forced 19 of them. That's great. You have 12 steals in the game. I'm sorry, you're one of the leaders in the NBA in steals. I was looking at the 76ers steals tonight. But if you're not making them pay for them, that's the problem for this team. And then the other stuff that has continuously been problems all year long, and it will come back to bite them in the ass. If it matters to people, it doesn't. If it doesn't matter to people this year, it will in the future. They lost the rebounding battle. They lost the offensive rebounding battle, and they got killed in points in the debate by 12. That's just honestly, like, if we're not going to trade for anyone, and I think there's a valid argument that you have made that you're not trading for anyone, this is just going to have to be something that you're going to have to deal with all year long.
So allow me to retort. So I'll stat you. Yeah, the turnovers have been a problem and have been a problem all season, but they have been a lot more secure with the ball as of late. So if you take their last 17 games, they're averaging 14.1 turnovers per game. That would be 7th best in the NBA. And that is where I think that, again, you're seeing and it's the same thing with Devin Booker. And this was a stat me that I had last night. In his first 22 games, his assist to turnover ratio was like 1.79. In his last 16 games, it's 2.2. He's getting better with. Now, tonight's not a great example. Tonight does not fortify my point at all. But they are getting better and more secure with the ball as time has progressed. And that's the key for the Suns team, in my opinion, is game to game, we see adjustments, but overall, there's adjustments that are occurring in real time. You're absolutely correct. These things will compound themselves in the playoffs because when you turn the ball over in the playoffs, typically the other team is going to score. And it's something that I've been writing about on Brightside every week. I do a weekly recap, and I'm talking. My whole theme this season is the possession battle, because that's what Jordan Ott wanted to focus on. And so I'm monitoring game to game, week to week. How do they look relative to their total possessions? How is it all playing out? How is this team taking advantage or not taking advantage of the extra opportunities that are being provided to them? And what I've found kind of as I've gone through this exercise, if you will, is that the team is generating more more possessions, but they're not necessarily, to your point, Ben, they don't turn them into enough points in my opinion. And that's where the opportunity will always exist for this team, because they're the top team in steals, but when it comes to points off turnovers, I don't have the stat in front of me. Take me like 3 clicks to get there. But if you look at, let's see, I got time. Shit.
Points off turnovers from the game tonight, or
no,
overall?
just overall. So
Where
points off.
Where would you find that at?
It's on Teams General Miscellaneous on NBA.com. So they score points off turnovers. The Suns are. Where are you, Phoenix? Why can't I? Oh, they're third in the league, 21.3. Second chance points, they are 7th in the league. Points in the paint, kind of to your point, they're 4th worst in the league. So they're doing a better job, because earlier in the year they were.
Your argument is because they force a ton of turnovers, the way that they're going to combat points in the paint is by points off turnovers.
In transition, yeah, points in transition. So fast break points.
The problem with the fast
mid.
points thing is, like, the Suns are one of the worst teams in the NBA in terms of playing with pace. They're in the bottom third of the NFL, in the NBA.
Yeah, they're like 22nd or 23rd.
20th. Casual.
Are they 20th?
Oh, no, they're 21st. My bad. I'm the casual.
It's on my graphic. If you look at the graphic for this podcast, I've got the attributes, and I have speed in there, and that represents pace. But we were talking about, once you go past 38 minutes, how sometimes things get weird. They're about to get really weird.
The Suns Jam Session Subreddit Stakeout.
Stakeout is brought to you
How much
by
time do you have in your
Nettles
hands?
Air Conditioning.
Need a unit, we've got you covered. NettlesAirs.com is where to go, brother. Call 623-444-4888. Nettles Air makes your home feel great.
Woo! Did you say how much time do I have on my hands?
Why is everyone in the chat okay with this? No one has said a thing like, hey, there's a grown-ass man and a Batman.
You doing the Batman voice. Where is she?
Where is she?
Where is she? Well, this
I
is what.
have seen The Dark Knight. Anyways,
Okay,
you guys.
good.
Someone said it's the best part. Ben.
Yes. People show up for the subreddit stakeout, man. Look at another person, best part of the show. So this is what was being said on the Philadelphia 76ers subreddit tonight. Grayson Allen would fit like a glove on this team. Is it just me, or has Jalen Green looked like he's put on some weight? Interesting observation. Maybe he looks a little thicker. Nothing wrong with that. Scott Foster going to do his thing tonight. Are you ready for the role player career high? And that's because Colin Gillespie was starting off, and then somebody's like, and you got to remember, Colin is from Philly. They go, Gillespie isn't a random role player. He's getting the bag this offseason. He would be in the 6th man of the year race if he didn't start so many games with Green out. And then somebody said, Gillespie been cooking folks while the East Coast has been asleep all season. I was like, dude, look at the Philly people knowing ball, or at least knowing.
Well, that's
Colin
their guy.
Gillespie.
He's from Philly.
Yes, exactly. But it was nice to see it, because normally that's a continual comment. Like, oh, Colin Gillespie is the guy tonight. It's like, yeah, he's been doing it all season. To all the doomers, the Sixers are missing their 2nd and 3rd best players against a very respectable Suns team. Look at their record in the West. They're good.
Who are the 2nd and 3rd best players that they're talking about?
Joel Embiid and Paul George. Which is about right. VJ Edgecombe will be that 2nd best player in a season.
I mean, come on. Paul George.
I know. But who else is better than him on the team? Kelly Oubre?
I'm going to be honest with you.
He's a fan favorite of the Suns, by the way. Kelly Oubre.
I think the Suns would have. Okay, I said this. Okay, you know what? I say things and I'm okay with saying them. This I have to remind myself, like, I don't care. I saw those two guys on the bench and I was like, oh, if they're playing, I think the Suns would have an easier job to win. Like Joel Embiid at this point in his career, like, appears kind of cooked. And Paul George has been cooked since he signed the deal in Philly. So I don't know, man.
Joel Embiid had 30 last night, and if he hadn't, and Tyrese Maxey had
That's
30, I
true.
would have
Hey,
won
listen, every now and then a blind squirrel, acorn, for sure.
Something with it, yeah.
Remember when he won an MVP because he's the only ever
He
MVP
cried about it.
to literally advocate for? He was advocating for it like a politician.
Oh, I know. Do you know what I think is weird? I
Oh
heard
man,
this.
his 3-point percentage is way down this year too.
I forget who was talking about this on a recent podcast, but they were talking about how weird it is that LeBron James has his own personal patch talking about how many years he's been in the league. Like, boy, do I love me. What an egotistical fucking maniac. Like, I've got a patch to celebrate me while me plays. Like, I fucking hate
Be
LeBron
fair.
so
To be
much.
fair, I can't say anything about this because it would feel kind of hypocritical when there's a sign of my name in a glowing.
No, but like you have
light
a
behind me.
show. That's different, man. Like, you have a show. Shows have signs. He has a patch celebrating his 23rd year that only he wears. It's strange. Like, you only, like, when Al McCoy dies, you put a patch on your uniform. You don't walk around with your own patch. Like, me. Let's celebrate me more. Me greatest ever. Murmur. I called it.
I'm catching all about half of what you're saying because I'm trying to read your chat. That's just okay with you and the Batman thing.
Oh yeah.
And people are like, someone legitimately said, this is what Locked On is missing.
There you go.
You know content, man. I clearly do not.
Oh, dude, people love this thing. It's fun.
I'm having a great time.
I got Kermit the Frog over there. I used to do Kermit the Frog here, and I used to do the Kermit thing. But people like the Batman more. Lissy does Invisible Man, so he just goes over here. It's just like a blank mic, and he does it. But yeah, I can't go to the opposing fan base's subreddit dressed up as a Suns fan, so I go as Batman and try to fit in. It makes sense. Just allow it to.
This is the greatest show ever.
Thank you.
This is the greatest
I've
show
worked
ever.
and the graphics are amazing. Okay.
The graphics are great. This is. I can't take.
This is
shots
what people.
at,
This
I can't.
This is what
I
people
can't take
don't know they're
shots at
missing.
people. I can't take shots at people. This is
But
a
you
good
can.
show.
But you can.
No, I can't. And I can't take shots at people. You know, people take a lot of shots at me, and I can't do it. I can't do it. This is a great show. This is a great live stream.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, thank you, RG in the chat.
Okay, listen, Locked On Suns exists. It's at least close.
You don't have Batman.
I don't have Batman. I'm just gonna dress up like the Joker.
We there you go. See, genius. You go, why so serious? And then you read opposing team sub because it's good content. People want to hear what opposing teams
Or
think
go as
about us
Bane.
and do so. I have a Bane mask. I'm a bald guy, man. I look great in a Bane mask. You merely adopted the darkness. See, and we just hit 4,000 subscribers, and it's huge. It's like, man, if 10,000 people were watching this shit, it'd be really fucking fun. And Joe Casillas says that Locked On's tied for second. That's good.
Wait, who we tied for second with?
The Suns Planet podcast.
I know what you were gonna say.
All right,
But
so here's what else was said on the subreddit. Where is she? Came in here to say, I hate VJ's haircut. His barber did him dirty. They were talking about VJ Edgecomb's haircut like the entire fucking subreddit. Drummond's performance this year is even better when you consider he might be the most stoned on-court player in league history, excluding D Rose, of course. Maxey getting outscored by Royce O'Neal despite taking 7 more shots. Get the fuck out of here. It's funny that Dylan Brooks's face is just universally considered bad vibes.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Suns have one of the most annoying white boy duos in the league.
Grayson
Nick
Allen
Nurse.
and Colin Gillespie.
Exactly. Nick Nurse is a fucking jackass. What fuck ass defensive schemes? That's a great. What fuck ass?
He just called. Hey, here. What about this? Where does Colin Gillespie rank in White Boy of the Year conversations?
I mean, it's early. It's January 20th. So, I mean, there's a long way to go for White Boy of the Year, but, he's up there. At least
There's like in the NBA, there should be a White Boy of the Year award.
There should be. Con Knipple, man.
Con Knipple is
I'm
up
a
there.
big Knipple fan.
Maybe the most efficient rookie ever, by the way.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Who's a couple of years ago, I gave the award to Tyler Hero and I gave it to Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard last year for sure.
Yeah, he was definitely White Boy of the Year.
He was.
I'm curious where Colin Gillespie, and this is coming in from a half white guy. Listen, I'm half Hispanic, half white, so I got a foot in both camps here.
The Ben is the white part, and the Garcia is the Hispanic part. Makes sense.
Yep.
What's your middle name?
Paul.
That's so white.
I don't know if I've ever. Well, my mom's probably the one that. My mom's the one that probably gave me that. She is the white one. My
middle name is Meehan. Okay, how white is that? It's an Irish last name. John Meehan Vite the Third. A couple more of these before we get out of this. Dear 8-pound. Oh, this is dear 8-pound 6-ounce newborn infant Jesus. Please let Tyrese Maxey have enough left in his legs to carry us to victory tonight. Amen. And then the last thing I have for the subreddit stakeout. Suns announcer just said that they're on a blitzkrieg. Explains the WP tattoos on Dylan Brooks' shoulders, I guess.
The Suns Jam Session Subreddit Stakeout.
You've been baptized. Everyone who has to come on the show. Do you know what it's like to have people on the show and we're sitting here having good Suns conversations and I'm talking in a Batman mask? You know how weird that is for me, but there's something about it that just makes me giggle inside.
You are a grown man enough and have lived enough life that you have gotten over like that. You've gotten over yourself. I think I need to get over myself.
Yeah.
And
I think seriously, man.
I think I just need
this thing alive.
I think I just need to adopt the Joker thing.
Just have fun.
So we'll see how we'll see how apparently that goes. Hey, here's the final thing that I was going to say.
Okay.
If Jalen Green is great, if Jalen Green is just a very good role player, like let's just really dumb down expectations. Let's say he adds an element of playmaking. He's this player that gets to the basket at will and he does it efficiently. Like he adds to what the Suns need. Where do the Suns rank on one of the most entertaining and best young cores in the NBA? Like truly,
they're top 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's not very many young cores. Like OKC's 1, OKC is 0, and then there's a space. Then there's San Antonio. Then there's other teams. But like
Philly, when Philly gets rid of Joel Embiid and Paul George and that baggage, they will be one of those teams, man. They got Maxey and Edgecombe, man. Like that's a fun backcourt they have over there.
Well, it's the same thing with the Suns. The whole picks conversation evaporates. No one cares about it anymore because they've got like Dylan Brooks is 30. 30 in the NBA is the new 28 in 2026. So he's still going to be here for 4 more years and play at a very good level. Devin Booker is 29.
Yep.
So he is statistically barely entering his prime. Like, listen, man, the one thing I'll leave people on, and I was very encouraged with what I saw from Jalen Green today, is this might be a very dangerous team in the Western Conference this year. They're an injury away from something. And again, I don't 100%. Want anyone to get hurt. But if someone gets injured, the Suns could be playing in the Western Conference Finals. They're not going to get to there's no world where they can make the finals.
Anything is possible though. And so I was on the radio today.
I mean, look at the Pacers, man.
I go on AM 1060 radio once a week with Rooster. And that was one. Rooster and the sports talk, his show. I don't know. But I go on once a week. He's on from 3 to 5, I think, or 4 to 5.
Yeah.
So, but that was one of the questions he asked. Essentially, is like, what's the ceiling of this team, and where can they go? And that was kind of my response: is you never know in the NBA, but no matter what happens, nobody wants to play Phoenix. Nobody, even if it's OKC. If somehow we end up the 8th seed, which you never know what will happen, if they got to play us, we'll put a series on anybody. That's a fact. This team, unlike the team 2 years ago that got swept by Minnesota, we'll put a series on some. Will we win a round? Perhaps. Can we win 2 rounds? Maybe. You never know. Like you said, an injury away, some freak, something, it can happen. I mean, look at the fucking Patriots about to go to the Super Bowl because Bo Nix, broke his ankle. You never know what's going to happen. You don't wish for it, but nobody wants to play this fucking team, man. Nobody wants to play a team that's connected and plays defense like this.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. It would be a thing where, like, because I don't want to go over, like, if they played OKC'd win in 5, but it'd be the most irritating win in 5 series. That they might blow out the Suns once or twice, but 3 of those 5 games are going to be absolutely hell, and they're going to lose one of them. It's a fun team, man, that has completely turned the picks narrative on their head, because I'd rather have what the Suns have now than just kind of guessing what they're going to get in the draft.
100%.
So yeah, man, credit to the Suns. I am on record saying that Brian Gregory has the personality of a potato, and then I took that back and actually said, no, a potato actually has a better personality. So listen, dude might not be able to entertain me, but he is he's a hell of a GM so far. So, credit to this team, man. I think that this team is a chance to go. I think this is we're still in the midst of, I think, a very, very fun season.
Well, that's what it is. It's a top 5, in my opinion, Phoenix Suns team that I've watched in my entire life. The 7 seconds or less teams, the team that went to the finals, maybe a team in the 90s, but this has just been absolutely a blast to watch. So let's go ahead and hand out some hardware for tonight.
Jam Star of the Game.
All right, Jamsters, a reminder to subscribe, rate, review, hit that thumbs up button in the YouTubes and stuff. Let the algorithms know where you like to hang out. Get more people to come here and see me dress up as Batman, make an ass out of myself. And Jamstar of the Game is brought to you by Bubba Chubbs Cards and Collectibles. You can follow them on Instagram at Bubba Chubbs Cards, and go to BubbaChubbsCards.com for the best cards on the internet. Use code BUBBA10, and tell them Voida sent you. Ben, you're the guest. Who do you give the Jamstar of the Game to in this one? It's a balanced effort tonight. It's kind of a tough one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't give it to Jalen Green because it's too easy. I think it's Grayson. It's either screw that. It's Jordan Goodwin. He had a lot of different times tonight. He had 5 rebounds tonight. That was tied for second on the Suns. Doing all the little things. He played 20 minutes. He was 6 for 9 from the field. Numerous times today where he did not give up on a play. I would probably say Jordan Goodwin is that guy, with a close second being Grayson Allen. But I just thought some of the things Jordan Goodwin did tonight were more impactful.
Yeah, it's kind of mixed in the chat. Suns fever, I'm giving it to Jamstar, to Goodwin. It's nice to see Green back, obviously. Goodwin for Mr. Devin Mitchell. Booker gets the Jamstar from Saul. Goodwin from Mark. Grayson, a great Saul's game. He was 4 of 9 from beyond the arc, 16 points. Jordan had 16 points. For me, I got to go with the whole bench squad. This was a bench game, man. It's like the second time in 3 games where they came in and really just saved the Suns' asses, and I appreciate that. And it's great to see them outscore the Philadelphia 76ers 58-28 in bench points, and that's the value of this team. So we'll continue to see how this plays out when we come to you live next on Thursday when the Suns play the Atlanta Hawks. What are your thoughts on the Hawks this season? We're going there. The road trip ends there. We have a chance to go 4-2 on this road trip, which is incredibly impressive considering they lost the first 2 games. The Hawks are obviously a team that's kind of, on the rise, but they stumble a lot. The post-Trae Young era, Jalen Johnson's been struggling, but played good yesterday. What do you think about the Hawks, and do the Suns win this one?
They match up really well with the Suns. A lot of lengthy defenders that can be thrown at Devin Booker and make life a little bit difficult on them. I expect that that's where you kind of need Jalen Green to kind of start to get back into shape, maybe quicker than you thought, so that they cannot just continue to blitz and make life really hard on Devin Booker. Like, that's what I'm the most concerned about. But really just that they match up really well with this team. And man, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize that we're already 5 games into the road trip. I thought this was, for some reason, game number. So this is already a successful road trip too. Yes. Like on Locked On Suns, I had said, go 3-3, go 3-3, and then get back home where you have a home stand for the next 5 games. And so you're playing with house money on on Friday night in Atlanta. But Atlanta's a good matchup for the Suns. They're a very good matchup for them. They're a big, lengthy team that tends to give Suns a little bit of trouble. Force turnovers, get out in transition, and like you said, make up the discrepancy in the paint or on the boards by getting out in the direction and running and converting points off turnovers. So
and take care of the ball yourself. Take care of the ball yourself.
I need Devin Booker to start being more efficient now that Jalen Green is back. That's what I'm looking the most out for.
The hope is that's going to start to occur because he's not going to have every defense blitzing him, and he's not
even 9 for 23 tonight.
Yeah, wasn't great.
Those are tour dates, my friend. Those are tour dates. So
looks like the Rockets are going to beat the Spurs. FYI.
They are. They were down 12 points.
Yeah, they're up. They've outscored them 26-12 in the fourth quarter. So, all right, Jamsters.
Well, I guess the first time they beat the Spurs, we've done it twice. So, you know what? Blind squirrel, acorn, fine.
Well, we still got the Nuggets are up 10 on the Lakers in the second quarter. So. That's it for the show. I appreciate everyone who decided to hang out. Ben, why don't you tell everyone where they can give you a follow and watch all the great work that you do?
Yeah, guys, you guys can follow me at Ben Garcia Show anywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, at Ben Garcia Show everywhere. I have my own live show where I do 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday where we talk all Arizona sports. Those of you that are Cardinals fans, they are dominating topics of discussion right now. So we're talking all about those things, as well as we're going to recap some more of the Jalen Green debut in the morning. And then, of course, Locked On Phoenix Suns. Weeknights, after every Suns game, well, five nights a week, we are breaking down the Phoenix Suns as well as post-game. So, tonight, give me about an hour. There'll be a Locked On Phoenix Suns episode where we do things professionally over there.
Sounds boring.
I'm just upset because I don't have a Batman mask.
Well,
John Voight obviously joins me on Locked On Phoenix Suns. He asked me today, he's like, hey, would you like to jump on Suns Jam Session podcast? I was like, yes. It is long overdue. You've been helping me out with a ton, so it's good to be able to try to play back some of that favor. But yeah, you guys can check me out over there at Ben Garcia Show and then Locked On Phoenix Suns everywhere. But yeah, appreciate you having me on, man.
No, really appreciate you taking some time and seeing how I do things over here. It's different. Normally I'm answering your questions. You can answer mine. So hope you had a good time.
It's much easier. It's much easier.
Yeah, trust me. It's different when I go on your show. I'm like, I don't have to do anything. I just have to give my opinion and show up. Yeah. And Red Hour says they play Friday. So I thought it was Thursday, but if they play
either way.
They play later this week.
You know what, Red Arrow? They play the Hawks at some point, all right?
There you go. Well, again, thank you, everybody. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review, hit that thumbs up button, and above all else, go home and love your family.
Hey, you're listening to the Suns Jam Session podcast, shooting the shit about the Suns since 2019.